Reading book on pausing and money. Written by me, Eric Wadell. First draft, November 2025. Chapter 9. Worn out situation. When we feel too tired, cut off, or lonely. How can it be that money sometimes gives us a sense of breathing space, and at other times only makes us feel worn out? Money has this dual nature in our lives, but what is it that makes it that way? For the last couple of 1,000 years, people have collectively accumulated their efforts in building the societies, institutions, and bureaucracies surrounding money. So as you and I now pause and look at what role money currently has in our lives, we are also looking at this vast history of human endeavor. When we engage with money, we are also engaging with the societies, institutions, and bureaucracies that money is contingent upon. And the characteristic trait of all these societies, institutions, and bureaucracies is that they are much bigger than you and I. This means that every time we engage with money, we also engage with actors more powerful than ourselves. Say that you and I are like Gulliver from the Jonathan Swift book, Gulliver's Travels, and that we arrive at the land of giants. As we are meeting with these powerful giants, the asymmetry in the relationship is so significant that we end up with this dual nature of dynamics with them. On the one hand, if the giants like us, they can offer us great protection from adversaries of our own human size. But on the other hand, if the giants do not like us, they can force us into doing things against our own wishes, or simply squash us. Like this, money effectively has the dual nature of being able to protect us from adversaries of our own size, but also to make us act against our own good and force us into loyalty to something on the sheer basis of its large scope and scale. This predicament that we are in, caught in between the protection and terror of the giants of money, makes us feel breathing space at some times and worn out at other times. So our problem to ponder as individuals is about how best to engage not only with money, but also with the societies, institutions, and bureaucracies asserting control over money. Pausing when worn out. The sibling term to asymmetry is symmetry. And within each asymmetrical relationship that we have, there is also a deeper layer of symmetry within it. As we are meeting with a party asymmetrically more powerful than us, it is difficult to see past the raw feelings that we have about this asymmetry. We feel too tired, cut off, and lonely not to become embittered about it. But this does not mean that the deeper symmetry is not still there. It is still there. To pause when worn out is to accept the challenge of actively looking for that deeper symmetry, even when everything apparently speaks against us doing it. It comes down to how competitive you are and how badly you want it. First, even when we are dealing with a party asymmetrically above us in the social hierarchy, we can still aspire to hold a conversation of sorts with them. We can still conduct a back and forth of talking and listening to the other. We pause and ask ourselves if talking or listening will bring us any closer to that deeper symmetry that is hidden beneath the veil of conventionality. Often, we get stuck in unfortunate social knots because we do not bother saying what is interesting or listening to what is really there. Second, we want there to be spark in the back and forth between us. When we feel excited about seeing the developments of a relationship, we will find new ways of action towards it. So when interacting with something asymmetrical, we pause and ask ourselves if we cannot find some element of traction between us. It is like looking for the key to a heavy, fortified gate. We cannot break the gate open, but the key can open up the way. Third, sometimes we just need some rest and alone time, away from the asymmetrical relationship. Often we are prideful and do not give ourselves time away from a challenge because we view it as a failure to do so. But it is not. It is a success to give ourselves room to think and to recover. Then, after some time has passed, we can come back and try again. Done right, this becomes like a reassuring rhythm. Pausing when worn out is about recognizing that the asymmetry is there and that it is real. Pausing when worn out is also about recognizing that there more often than not are things that we can do to also dwell in a simultaneous symmetry together. There is no superficial asymmetry that does not also have a deeper symmetry within it. And our challenge, if boldly accepted, is to pause and look for that symmetry again and again. Our relationship with the giants of money. On the one side of the relationship, there is us. And on the other side, there is the societies, institutions, and bureaucracies of money. And in between us, there is money. This means that how you and I relate to ourselves affect money. And also that how the giants relate to themselves affect money as well. Just like we found in chapter 2, money is an expression of our differences in perspective. Some of us like to live close to the societies, institutions, and bureaucracies of money, knowing all the ins and outs of their ways. Others of us like to live as far away as possible from them, trying to forget about the very real influence that they exert in our world. And still some of us live sometimes close and sometimes far away from the giants, saying hello and goodbye, but also goodbye and hello. Our task as individuals is to ponder how to find a personal and unique way of engaging with these societies, institutions, and bureaucracies. You are you and no other, so your relationship with them must be yours uniquely. It would seem that if we lose that personal sense of relating to the big actors of money, we also lose our sense of agency in life. Our relationship can be the most dysfunctional with the giants, but if it still feels like our own, then there is value in it. Because it adds to our sense of personality and purpose. But then also, our relationship can be a highly symbiotic one with the societies, institutions, and bureaucracies of money, and have equally high value to us if it feels like our personal choice. Many of the charismatic celebrities that we associate with money today have such a symbiotic relationship with the giants. They live tightly interconnected in each other's daily lives, with all the good and all the bad that comes with it. So, when we find ourselves engaging with the government branches of money, or the banks, or the technological corporations of money, we want to ask ourselves where the symmetry can best be found between us. That deeper symmetry runs in the fibers of us all, both in you and in I, and also in the thousands-year-old creations of men, which we in totality call society. Sometimes we must look long and hard to find any traces of that symmetry, but we must not lose our determination in keeping on looking for it. Because the day we stop looking is the day we lose sight of what money really can be, and that would make us consistently worn out. Symmetry feels like breathing space, and just like we want pausing to feel like breathing space, we also want our money to feel like breathing space. Now we have looked at all 5 of the situations, and next we will turn to our closing chapter, attempting to sum up what we have found and to draw some conclusions about the bond between pausing and money.